Okay, so we are live now. Good morning, everybody, wherever you might be dialing from Europe, from Africa, from US. My name is Tolu. I'm going to be your host this morning, and I've got my co-host with me, Swapnil. We're going to be sharing our experience with you.
Good morning, guys.
Okay. I was here myself a second ago. Hi, Swapnil.
Hey, Tolu. How are you?
Very good, thank you. So this webinar is only going to be for 2 hours, and we're not going to go over time. And that's primarily because we've got a class right after this as well. So we're going to try and be as efficient with our time as possible. So Ayo, as people come in, please just kind of let them in, and let's get started. Ayo, you there? Are you good? I think quite a few people are joining in now. Excuse me.
Yes, I'm here, Tolu.
All right, great. Please, if you can help admit people and just make sure people are the background is nice and clear, so that the recording can be played when people listen back. Like I said, good morning. My name is Tolu, and I'm going to be your host for this webinar. It's going to be a 2-hour session. The first hour is going to be all about business analysis. The second hour is going to be about us. We're going to be a little bit narcissistic. We'll talk about our program, what we do, how we do it, how much it costs, how you can get on it. So if you just want to be part of the learning, the first hour, by all means do so. If you want to stay back and hear about how you can join one of our programs, by all means do so as well. So my name is Tolu Fagbala. I've been a business analyst for many years. I've been a training and development professional for many years. I've been an independent consultant for a few years, and I've also been a startup founder as well. So I have a broad range of experience across multiple fields. I would say my core identity from a career perspective is training and development. I see myself first and foremost as a trainer. And then when it comes to what do I train business change, I train business analysis, and then I support and advise people who want to develop their careers, including people who want to start businesses as well. So that's what I see myself as. I started my career in telecoms many years ago. I'll say about 23 years ago. So I worked with a company called Carphone Warehouse, did quite a lot with them, from started in the call center, managed teams, set up different departments, set up sort of ran projects, and then moved into training and development. Worked with a company called Addison Lee, as a training manager. Worked with lots of different companies with a consultancy as consultants, worked with a digital bank, getting a digital bank set up from impact assessments to process architecture to requirements. Worked with a smart metering company as an agile coach, scrum master, and business analyst. Helped to ensure that the smart metering program was on track and the solution was developed. Worked on a smart ticketing project, set up an edtech business, helped a number of startup founders. So I've done quite a lot across multiple industries, but in everything that I do, I see myself first and foremost as a trainer, and I've been training for quite a few years. And as a trainer, my passion is helping people achieve the outcomes that they set for themselves. So that's me in a nutshell. I'm going to be your facilitator for the session, but I do have a co-facilitator and co-host with me. His name is Swapnil. Swapnil, I'm going to let you speak and tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell us about your background. Tell us your achievements as a trainer of business analysis. So yeah, talk to us, Swapnil.
Sure. Okay. Hey, guys. Morning. This is Swapnil. I'm one amongst you only. Of course, I have few achievements, but few failures as well. So failures come with achievement, achievement comes with failure. That's what I believe. So we should always try. As far as my qualification goes, I have studied in Australia. I've done my master's in business administration and master's in information technology. I have been into training industry for more than 20 years. I've trained globally, physically, and thanks to COVID, virtually, in UK, Europe, Australia, Sri Lanka, India, of course, that's my country, and so on. I've trained in various industries, starting from healthcare to finance, to utilities, and so on. As far as my way of going training would be more of interactive, as I talk very less. Okay, that's my USP. And the most important thing, what I feel in today's session you should take away from Tolu is, because I know him from 10 years, guys, you can take my words, you can ask him any question. Starting from cutting your hairs to cutting your nails. Trust me, he'll answer it.
I
Okay.
don't know about cutting your hair, cutting your nail, but yeah, any question.
Yeah. So anything related.
I did find somebody asked me a question about relationships in our coaching session the other day, and that was interesting. But yeah, you can ask me a question.
Yeah.
I might not have the answer, but yeah.
He is a subject matter expert in BS, so am I, of course. But I believe it's his passion, and because today he's conducting the webinar, so I give all the credit to him. You can ask him in and out everything. So it's as he correctly said, after 1 year, we're going to be a bit nasty. We're going to talk about our course, our training. But even after that, if you contact him, he will answer. Trust me. So I believe if you join Career Transition and you are in safe hands, the only reason being because the founder is the one who's going to train you. That's the whole agenda. And over there, it doesn't work on quantity, it works only on quality. That's what I have seen. Thank you, Tolu.
Thanks so much, Swapnil. And like Swapnil said, I've known Swapnil for many years. We collaborated on many things and worked together for many years. So thanks so much. And I think with the amount of experience that Swapnil has got, again, Swapnil was one person you can ask any question as well. Swapnil is very big on helping people, get through the exam, get through the content, get through the curriculum, and pass. I think we've probably got one of the best pass rates that I know. I'm less focused on, I'm more sort of let's try and understand stuff. So I think that's a good balance between us. So thank you very much. All right. So I want to ask you guys a question. I want you to type in the chat for me the answer. Right now, or in the recent past, what type of business change initiatives are currently running in your organization? What type of business change initiatives are currently running in your organization? When I say business change initiatives, it could be project or program. They could be technology related. They could be non-technology related. It could be we're moving office from one geographical location to another geographical location. It could be we're moving from one IT system to another IT system. It could be there's a new regulation that's just coming now. We need to change our processes. Whatever it is, what type of business change initiatives are currently running in your organization right now? If you're not working right now in your most recent organization, what type of business change initiatives are currently running? I want you to type in the chat for me. Just type it in the chat. What type of business change initiatives are currently running in your organization? All right, and I'll give you guys a few minutes to gather your thoughts and type this into the chat for me. What type of business change initiatives are currently running in your organization? Okay. Hi, Kathy. Good morning. Kathy says digitization of paper-based applications, migration from G Suites to M365. Do you know what? I've been seeing a lot of that lately. A lot of migration to Dynamics, a lot of migration to Microsoft. I will talk a little bit about that because I'm currently working on such a project at the moment. I'm not particularly migration from G Suite, but the migration to Dynamics from a legacy system. So for anybody who doesn't know what M365 means, I think you mean Microsoft 365. If that's the case, then that's a very common one. So thank you so much. Who's iPhone? iPhone, if you can change your name so that we know who you are, that would be good. iPhone says automation. Please explain what you mean by automation, because I think that's one of those very nebulous, ambiguous terms that people use, but I'm not sure what you mean when you say automation. So what do you mean by automation as a project or a program in your organization? What exactly is being automated? What exactly is being done? Laia says we're moving from one location to another. Is it a sort of whole office move? Is it, do you buy your own building? Are you moving to a bigger place? Using new software, okay? Basi says we're moving from one, Basi says transition from desktop usage to the use of HR Business Central. All right, that's an interesting one. I'm sure a lot of people will ask, what do you mean by desktop usage? I'm guessing you mean using native applications, so offline applications to a central cloud-based application. Is that what you mean? You can explain that for us, Basi, that'll be good. Stella says, digitization of business processes, migration of client CRM from one software to another. Again, that's another very common one. And I'll put a pretty penny that you're probably moving to a Microsoft CRM as well, because a lot of businesses seem to be doing that these days. Yeah, it says Microsoft 365, smart, Thai Smart, good morning. Digital transformation. Could you explain what you mean by digital transformation? Smart, just type into the chat what you mean by digital transformation. Again, another nebulous term that people tend to use as a catch-all phrase. It will be good to know what exactly do you mean by digital transformation. Chris says implementation of 365, large international organization. Yeah, again, a very common project these days. So good. Okay, so you guys know what we mean by business initiatives. You guys know what we mean by projects and programs, because you've talked about the projects that you are familiar with that are currently running in your organization right now. Now, the next question is, you can type the answer into the chat for me, that would be good. Which skills do you think are required to deliver effective business change? So you've told me about the business change happening. Now, what skills do you think are required to deliver those business changes effectively? What skills do you think are required to deliver business change effectively? iPhone says automation means move from manual way of doing things to a technology-driven way of doing things. Is that what you mean? Okay, that's fine. That makes sense. So you're implementing some software is what I'm guessing you mean by automation. If that's the case, then absolutely correct. Automation means, Sir Smart says, we're currently moving from paper to digital. Well, yeah, a lot of organizations, you'd be surprised, still very much using paper, and only in the last couple of years I've realized that they now need to move their paper processes to digital. I think in the wake of COVID, a lot of NHS organizations, a lot of GP practices still very much taking paper registrations. So of course, they weren't able to do that anymore. So they needed to move to digital. So you will still find, especially in the public sector, Smart, I don't know if you work in the public sector, I'm guessing it's in the public sector. In the public sector, lots and lots of those kind of projects are happening. Thank you very much. Okay, so what skills are needed or required to deliver effective business change? Stella says data analysis. Okay, interesting. Yeah, I agree. Chrissy says stakeholder management. Kathy says stakeholder management, workshop facilitation. Absolutely. And data analysis. Okay. Any other? What other kinds of skills are needed in order to deliver effective business change? Skills are needed. Communication skills, I absolutely agree. And I think it's to do with the fact that a lot of projects fail because of communication. A lot of projects fail because the technical team don't understand what the business team needs. A lot of projects fail because the business team don't quite understand what the technical team are saying. A lot of projects fail because when it comes to understanding the art of the possible, it's not quite there. A lot of projects fail for non-technical reasons because the technology is there. There's a lot of great technology out there, a lot of amazing tools out there, but bringing it to life with people is a different ball game. And that's where we come in as business analysts. Smart says people management and effective communication. I agree. Laia says, I think the biggest skill will be management around logistics. When you say management around logistics, what do you mean? Okay, so I guess in the context of the project that you're working on, absolutely that will be right. So you're moving from one physical location to another. So you need a lot of logistics, a lot of planning, a lot of physical movement of stuff. Again, business analyst is really critical there as well. But yes, management around logistics will be a skill to have. So I think it's clear that one of the most important skills to have is not necessarily the technical skills. I think the most technical thing that you guys have mentioned is data analysis. Nobody said coding. Nobody said machine learning. Nobody said algorithms. Nobody said anything that techy. I think the most techy thing that you guys have mentioned is data analysis, and I tend to agree. Right? Let the techies do what the techies do, but they can't do it all on them by themselves. The business people still need to run a business, and they need to be able to communicate effectively what's needed in order to improve businesses. So for us as business analysts, that's kind of where we come in. So why business analysis? Well, business analysis is absolutely essential for digital transformation into today's complex world. I don't know if you guys have heard of VUCA before. The idea that the world we live in is very volatile, is very uncertain, it's very complex, and we as a people need to be able to manage all of that complexity. And business analysis is an absolutely essential skill for any organization doing any kind of business initiative to do with technology. So when we say digital transformation, you can use it as a catch-all phrase for any sort of technology-led kind of project or program. Of course, it is easy to create waste. It's easy to miss the point. It's easy to build the wrong thing, the wrong solution, and it's very, very quickly adds up. Lots and lots of failed projects, lots and lots of wasted resources. And I know a lot of organizations who started a project 4 or 5 years ago, didn't really get anywhere, had to start all over again. And the real key difference was bringing some sort of a structure where there's a lot of analysis done, because analysis is absolutely essential for any of these to be successful. Whether you call them business analysts or not, the analysis work is absolutely critical for any digital transformation to be effective or successful. And I hear a lot of people, especially in the agile space, say that we don't need business analysts because we work in an agile way. I totally disagree. I think business analysis supports agile. I think business analysis complements agile. I think business analysts work absolutely perfectly in an agile way. And agile ways of delivering digital transformation is becoming almost critical. Most digital transformation programs are delivered in an agile way or attempted to be delivered in an agile way, or some kind of agile is used, and business analysis supports that as well. So learning business analysis ensures that any kind of digital transformation programs are achieved effectively. So I think there is the case for being an analyst. There's a case for learning business analysis. Whether you choose to have a job title called business analyst or not, I think getting into this digital space, I think business analysis is an absolutely critical aspect of it. And it's a really good way to get in. Whatever it is that you want to do. If you want to be an architect, business analysis is a good way to get in. If you want to be a techie, business analysis is a good way to be. If you want to be a change leader or a business leader, business analysis is a really good way to get in. So I think there's a huge case for doing business analysis, whether you want to become a business analyst or not. So what do we mean by business analysis? What is business analysis? So here's a nice little definition that you can take with you. Business analysis is an advisory role, or the business analyst is an advisory role that's responsible for investigating and analyzing business situation. So first key phrase here is the fact that we are an advisory role. So think of an advisory role as a consultancy role. So as a business analyst, you're a consultant, usually an internal consultant. Okay? Just it. So we're an advisory role and we're responsible for, which means these are the things that we specifically do. We're responsible for investigating, meaning researching, and analyzing business situations, meaning figuring out what's happening. Out the issues. Okay, so firstly, we're an advisory role. Secondly, we're responsible for doing research of a business situation, investigating and analyzing a business situation. And then we're also responsible for identifying and evaluating options. So this is kind of when we talk about, when we do a business case, we use business cases. So if we say, okay, we want to implement X solution or Y solution, the business analyst is the role that will identify, okay, which one is the better one to go for? So let's say you're working on Dynamics implementation, right? Most of the time as a mid-level or junior business analyst, you probably won't be involved in a conversation regarding, should we go for Dynamics or should we go for Salesforce? You probably won't be involved in that conversation. But if you are a senior lead BA business architect, you probably will be involved in that conversation. Still part of business analysis, but as a sort of junior mid-level BA, you probably won't be involved in that sort of conversation as to should we go for Dynamics or Salesforce? Should we go for SAP or should we go for that system? Should we do this product or that product? Probably not, but it's still part of business analysis. So we identify and evaluate options for improving the business systems, right? We do business cases, produce pros and cons, costs and benefits, risks and impacts. We do things like impact assessment. If you go for this option, what will happen? If you go for this option, what will happen? At a much more sort of at a lower level, you've decided you're implementing Dynamics 365 into your organization. And one of the considerations to make is we need to be able to book appointments, right? For customers who call in and want to make a request. Right? So we now need to figure out which solution, which tool we might need to integrate to enable us book appointments. So you might have to go do that research. Should we use iProperty Cloud? Should we use appointment consult? Should we use a off the shelf? Should we use something in the Microsoft stack? What should we use? And then depending on what you're trying to use it for, you as an analyst will have to come back with a report to say, well, if we go for this option, we'll be able to get this kind of results. If you go for that option, we'll be able to get this kind of results. My recommendation is we go for this option. And then the business will take it and make a decision. So that's one of the things that we do. So we identify, evaluate options for improving the business systems. And when we say business systems, we don't just mean IT systems. When we talk about business systems, we're talking about a holistic system. I want you to remember this acronym for me. And you can use it as a guide whenever you are doing any kind of analysis work, whether it's impact assessment or readiness assessment, or you're doing any kind of analysis work, whether it's technical or non-technical. When you talk about business systems, we're talking about a holistic business system, and a business system has 4 key parts to it. Some people will say 5, some people will say 4, depending on your school of thought. The first part is the people side of things. So as a business analyst, you're going to think about what's going to be the impact of this option on our people. So let's say, for example, the decision you're trying to make is we need to implement this appointment booking tool into CRM Dynamics. Do your people know how to use this tool? Is it going to be a steep learning curve for them? Have people, are they familiar with it? Are they not familiar with it? So if you have one option where they're familiar with, that's a good point for you to go for that option, right? So the people, so you might think about the training they would need, the skills they will need to acquire. How much would they resist that change or that option? So the people side of things, absolutely critical. And we always think of it as the first thing to look at when you're doing your analysis. And then the organization, including the structure, the culture. So the organization. So how's that organization structured? Public sector, private sector? Is it hierarchical? Is it a flat structure? Can you make decisions quickly? Are there lots of managers? That would help you decide which option to go for. Okay? And then process. What's the current process? What's the current way of doing things? What's the future preferred way of doing things? So looking at the processes is another part of the business system. And then the information, which you can consider data and technology, which you can consider the solution. Technology, right? Some people will say that's one aspect. Some people will say there's a 2 distinct aspects, but the people, the organization, the process, the information, the technology, these are the 4 views of a business system. So when we talk about business analysts are responsible for identifying options for improving a business system, we're not just saying improving the IT. We're not just saying improving the process. We're not just saying improving the structure. We're not just saying improving the people. We're saying improving the business system holistically, which includes all of those different views. Okay, so what we do is we identify options, evaluate those options to improve the business system holistically. And this is the part that people think is all we do. That all we do is elaborate and define requirements. Well, absolutely critical to the work that we do as business analysts. So once we decide this is the option we need to go for, now what does the business need? What does the user need to be able to do on that system? So let's say you've decided, okay, we're going to go for this appointment booking software. So now you've got to figure out, person that's making the appointments, what do they need to be able to do? I need to be able to book an appointment. I need to be able to change an appointment. I need to be able to delete an appointment. I need to be able to notify the customers. Being able to elaborate that and write that down in a way that's intelligible to the technical person who will build it is absolutely critical to what we do as business analysts. And we don't just leave it there. We also ensure the effective implementation. So we work with the development team, we work with the agile teams, we work with the testers to ensure that the solution that we've identified and recommended is implemented effectively and used in line with the needs of the business. And this is the part that a lot of people miss. So the work that we do is so that the business gets what it needs, not so that the solution is working. If it's working and nobody uses it, pointless. If it's working, the business doesn't get value, pointless. If it's working and it looks amazing, but it's not adopted, it's not doing what the business needs for it to do, pointless. So you as an analyst, you're there to represent the needs of the business. So we're wearing different hats all the time. We're thinking strategically, we're thinking tactically, we're thinking operationally, and we're thinking technologically. We're thinking, what does the business want? What do the managers want? What do the users need? And what can technology do to ensure that everybody gets what they need? So you're working across the piece. You might come in as a junior analyst and you might be stuck in one particular area. You might be stuck just mapping processes. You might be stuck just writing requirements. You might be stuck just doing business cases. You might be stuck just doing discovery or research. But as an analyst, you want to be able to do all of those things and you want to be effective doing them as well. So as you get in, what we say is we want to be able to equip you with the skills and the tools to be effective as an analyst. I hope that makes sense. And that sort of gives you some idea as to what we say when we say you can become a business analyst, because a lot of these things, the skills that you need, you probably have from transferable skills. And what we want to do is ensure that you can tap into those transferable skills, you can be effective as an analyst. Now, I hear a lot of people say, as an analyst, I need to be techie. As an analyst, as a business analyst, I'm only going to be working in IT projects. As an analyst, all I'm going to be doing is gathering requirements. I don't know anything about requirements. As an analyst, all I'm going to do is work on projects. I don't know anything about projects. Well, some of the myths around business analysis are that business analysts are only meant for IT projects. I think that's wrong, personally, because like I alluded to earlier, it doesn't matter whether it's an IT project or not. The truth is, a lot of business analysts are hired for projects that are IT enabled. Right? There's a subtle difference between an IT project and an IT enabled project. Definitely, we do a lot of IT enabled projects, but we're not just meant for IT projects, and we're also not just meant for IT enabled projects. We're meant for any kind of business change, regardless if it's technology related or not. Because part of our analysis might result in the solution not being an IT solution. Part of our analysis might result in the solution being training, the solution being a process improvement, the solution being a physical move, the solution being a new product. So it might not be an IT project that comes out of your analysis. So not just for IT projects, but a lot of the time you will be on an IT project. Another myth that I hear is business analysts are needed only after project kicks off. Well, again, no, as we've already established, there's a lot of work we do before the project kicks off. There's a lot of work we do during project. There's a lot of work we do after a project. So we're not stuck to a project. But in the real world, in the world of projects, a lot of people call almost every kind of initiative a project, whether it is a project or not. So if we do business and project management, you know what a project is defined as, and we're not just stuck to projects, but we work across change. So projects, programs, change initiatives, whether you call it a project or not, as long as there's business change happening, business analyst is needed. People say business analysts only gather requirements for a project. Again, I've established the fact that we don't just gather requirements, we gather requirements and lots of other things. Some people also say you have to be a BA to do business analysis. And I say, no, you don't have to be a BA to do business analysis. You could be a product owner, you could be a product manager, you could be a project manager, you could be a scrum master and still do business analysis work. So the skill is for you to be able to identify what's needed, what business analysis is needed, and whether you're a business analyst or not, you can do it. And the one that I hear a lot is that I need to be a techie to be a BA. Well, I'm not a techie, and I've been doing business analysis for many years. I've been doing business analysis for lots of different kinds of projects and different kinds of initiatives across different industries. I do not consider myself to be a techie. So I'm not a techie. You don't have to be a techie. It's nice if you are, great. But the skills that you will need to enhance if you're a techie coming into business analysis, it's going to be slightly different from the skills you will need to enhance if you're a business person trying to become a business analyst. So if you're a business analyst trying to become a business analyst, you need to adapt some techie knowledge, how they talk, the language they understand, how to write requirements for a techie, how to communicate with the techie. You will need to adopt that skill and enhance that. If you're already a techie and you need to be a business analyst, you've got to have a slightly different mindset as well, because you're the smart one that knows how to do all the techie stuff, but the business don't have the clue what you're talking about. So you need to adopt really good communication skills. You need to enhance your stakeholder management skills. You need to enhance your writing skills, your communication skills for normal human business people, because our brains are wired different. So you don't have to be a techie to be a business analyst. And being a techie is not necessarily an advantage. So for all you techies in the room, it doesn't mean that you're going to be able to transition very easily because you're already good with tech. You still need to learn. You still have a lot of skills to acquire. So the truth is, the role of a BA extends beyond projects, not just for IT projects. It's for anyone working across business change. And business analysis is really, really essential in helping organizations deliver business change effectively. And more organizations are seeing the need for business analysts. More and more organizations are hiring more and more BAs. And I think that's a good thing for us, because what it does is it allows us expand our skill set, our horizon, we become more marketable, and we can sort of develop a lot quicker from sort of doing business analysis into every other thing that you want to be able to do as well. So I want to talk about agile and business analysis. And a lot of people suggest that agile and business analysis isn't, there's a conflict, and we don't need BAs in agile and so on and so forth. Well, truth is, there is no conflict. So the principles of business analysis and the principles of agile actually quite, there's a convergence, there's a similarity. There are lots of things that we both hold dear. So in business analysis, we have the holistic approach. I already talked about the POPIT model, right? The POPIT model stands for people, organization, processes, information, and technology. Whether you call that 201, totally up to you. As a business analyst, we consider all areas of the business, from the technical to the non-technical. We're looking at improving the entire business system, not just the technology. In Agile, principles are very much about delivering technology solutions in a collaborative way that brings the business into the conversation. There is no conflict there, right? So Agile principles and concepts include collaborative working iteratively, and delivering in bits and building on what's being built. So the collaborative working is absolutely key. So you're looking at bringing the business into it. You're looking at bringing the people into it. We don't just build software in isolation in an agile environment. We build a collaboration from the business stakeholders, from the users, from the customers. So we get information from them, we work collaboratively with them. And there's the principle of Agile is we prioritize what's the most important thing for the business, not what's the most important software to build. It's what's the most important solution for the business. So prioritizing is absolutely key, which kind of brings it back to that sort of holistic conversation as well. So We're focused on the people. We're focused on the business. What does the business need? We get things done effectively. We work iteratively. We empower teams. We continually learn. So those principles are, complement each other rather than conflict with each other. In business analysis, our key principles are we focus on root causes of the problem and not the symptom of the problem. What do I mean by this? So when we're looking at a particular business problem, for example, our customers are not calling enough, or our customers are complaining too much, right? That's probably a symptom of the problem. The question you want to ask is why are our customers complaining? Why are our customers not calling? What is causing that to happen? So rather than solving the problem of customer complaints, we want to solve the customer of what's causing customers to complain. It could be that we're not giving them enough information. It could be that we're not responsive to them. It could be that our products are not, meeting their needs. It could be that we don't have enough staff to man the phones. It could be anything. So what's the cause? So we focus on root causes, not symptoms. We focus on options and not solutions. A lot of people have a problem with this one. So as an analyst, we don't necessarily care what the technical solution is. We don't care what the techies say we should implement. We want to give the business options and let the business make decisions. We want to provide the options from a technology perspective and let the experts help make those decisions. So we're focused on options and not solutions. And we're focused on the entire business change lifecycle and not just requirements definition, contrary to what a lot of people might think business analysts are focused on. We're focused on business improvement and not IT system change. Again, contrary to what a lot of people might think. We have to understand what the IT system change is, have to have our requirements right, we have to have our acceptance criteria right, but they need to meet the needs of the business. So it's about business improvement, not about IT system change. So there's a very sort of different perspective, different way of looking at things when we as analysts look at it. So that's why we're actually very, very effective, very critical in a lot of business change projects. It's not about meeting all requests. It's not about being a glorified note taker. If you've been in my class before, you will hear me say this quite a bit. As an analyst, you're not a glorified note taker. You're not the person that just writes down what everybody wants and takes it like you're taking an order, right? No. It's about feasible contributing requirements. What are the requirements that can be done, that should be done, that's going to meet the needs of the business? So one of the things that I always tell my business analysts is challenge the business, push back on them, ask them, is this really what you need? Can you do it differently? Is this effective? Because I'm involved in a lot of transformation projects, and I'm involved in one right now, and they're moving to Dynamics 365, they're bringing in the existing processes and try to replicate them in the new system. And when you put garbage in, you get garbage out, right? If you literally lift and shift your existing processes, you're not going to get the benefits of the new system. So it's really a question of, do you really have to do it this way? Why do you have 6 steps to resolve a particular issue? Why not 4? Why do you have to have 6 people involved in this inquiry? Why not 3, right? So we're challenging them. We're looking at feasible contributing requirements to the business solution to meet the business needs, not just meeting all requests, not just collecting information from customers like you're taking an order for coffee. And it's about negotiation, not avoidance. We don't, shy away from sort of trying to get them to rethink the way they do things. We negotiate. We don't avoid. We don't sort of run away and cower under the covers. We just try and ensure that the business gets what it wants. So far, do you guys have any questions? Please type your questions into the chat for me. I want this to be an interactive session rather than a lecture. So does that make sense to you? Does it resonate with you? Do you agree? Do you disagree with my assertions of who we are as business analysts? giving you a few seconds just to gather your thoughts and ask your question, make your comments in the chat. You agree? You disagree? Does it make sense? Just type yes in the chat if you're still with me. Just type yes in the chat. I think you agree with your thoughts. Ella says, thank you. Anybody else here apart from me and Stella? Okay. Agree, makes a whole lot of sense. Precious says yes. I agree, but do businesses or organizations always go with the proposition of the BA? Really good question. So the answer is absolutely not. And the reason I say that with exclamation is at the end of the day, it's down to the business, right? And when I say absolutely not, is every stakeholder has their own agendas. Every stakeholder has their own agenda. And one agenda might conflict with another, right? And even with the facts, even with the most obvious, most logical decision, you will find that the business will still do what the business wants. But that's fine. Your job is to make sure there is enough information for them to make an informed decision. So literally just this week, I was dealing with an issue with a stakeholder. So they're implementing chatbot into the live chat system, into the new Dynamics omni-channel that they implemented. And they made a decision to only make live chat available to logged in customers. And I thought, what's going to happen to non-logged in customers and customers who are not able to log in, or customers who don't want to log in, customers who are not customers, who have an inquiry or have a complaint? And I did all of the analysis and sort of presented all the information, the pros and the cons, the benefits and the disbenefits, what will happen if you go down this route, what will happen if you go down this route, the amount of extra calls that you're going to get, the amount of extra services that you're going to make available, the amount of configuration you're going to have to make. And they still went, yeah, we hear you, but because of where we are right now, because of our nervousness, because of the fact that we think we will need to learn more quickly, we're afraid we might not be able to handle it. So we'll deal with the risk and we'll still go for what we want to go for. Perfectly okay. As long as you then go, okay, great, here are the risks. Here's what I recommend. Here's what you should now do if you go down this route. So one of the things that I do is I go, okay, if you make this decision, these are the things that you should do. You now need to do some extra training. You now need to implement some extra processes so that that option will be viable. Right? So yeah, I don't think they would always accept your recommendation, but you've got to make the recommendation anyway. So that means that a BA must have a feel for what the Scrum Master item will do. Oh yeah, absolutely. So remember, as a BA, you are an intermediary. You are the bridge between business and IT. Right? So you're working with the techies all the time. You know, you've got to be, my best friend in my projects is my architect, right? My technical architect. That's my best friend, because that's the person that will tell me what's the art of the possible. What can the solution do? The solution we've already agreed and selected, and we're going to work with them, because that's the way it works most of the time. So I would be close to my architects and would know what the system is able to do. And my subject matter experts, I'm super close to this, right? I would always recommend as a BA, you have a subject matter expert, you have an architect, and you can sort of have a good relationship between them, because the subject matter expert is the one that's going to help give you all of the information that the business has. The architect is the one that's going to give you all of the information that the techies have, and then you can mediate between them. So yes, you do need to understand what the Scrum Master, project management person, and IT people do. You do need to understand what the business stakeholders do as well. So all the heads of departments, the product owners, those guys, you've got to be good with them. The techies, you've got to be good with them, and you've got to be able to communicate effectively across vacancies. Now, it could be, just you writing requirements. It could be you mapping processes. It could be doing research. It doesn't matter what it is. You still got to be able to ensure that stakeholder management bit is critical in your toolkit. Okay, so services. So the business analysis service framework is such that you've heard me say all these things that we do as business analysts. Now, you one day could be doing requirements, another day could be doing testing, another day could be doing impact assessment, another day could be working with your developers, another day you could be doing a business case, another day you could be doing discovery. There are lots of things that we do. So to make it nice and easy for you, we've kind of broken them down into services. So what are the services that business analysts offer? Right? So this is based on the BCS framework or the BCS methodology or approach. It doesn't mean that every organization will break it down this way. It just means that you should be able to know that what you're doing is business analysis or is not business analysis. So if you're writing code, you're not doing business analysis. If you're doing, I don't know, systems analysis or systems development or whatever, then you're not doing business analysis. You might sort of have like the fine lines, the bridges, the little sort of, overlaps. But essentially, as a business analyst, one of the services we offer is discovery, situation investigation, and problem analysis. So this is kind of where you do a lot of research to understand the root cause of the problem. Okay, so we usually would say discovery or research or root cause analysis, right? Different organizations might call it different things, but it's a key aspect of what we do. And I expect, I usually only suggest that people who are who've got some experience, some real world experience should do business analysis. I don't really always recommend business analysis for people who are fresh out of school who've got no work experience whatsoever. If you're fresh out of school, you've got no work experience whatsoever, be an intern, be an apprentice, come in, understudy someone, learn, work in a team, work in a department, work in an organization, understand what business does, right? And so on. You might have research skills, but you've got to understand how organizations work. So I usually would expect that an analyst has some transferable skills, some experience of a particular domain, particular industry, and some ability to do research within an organization. So I expect that lots of people will be able to do this, right, without a lot of handholding. So that's one of the things that we do. Another thing that we do is feasibility assessment, business case developments. You've heard me say this is one of the essential aspects of our skill set. So ensuring that we understand the options and the costs for each option, the benefits we're going to get for each option, the risks, the impact, all part of the service. We also do process improvements, so the ability to do process mapping or process modeling, the ability to do what we call gap analysis, the gap between the current and the future. This is also one of the things that we do. Okay. Another thing we do, requirements definition. That's what most people think we do anyway. So writing user stories and acceptance criteria, writing what the business wants the system to do for them, essentially a key part of what we do. And business acceptance testing. So this is not just user acceptance testing. This is ensuring that the business gets what the business asked for. So you've built a solution now. Now we need to go live. Now we need to ensure that we're ready. So things like readiness assessments, that's part of the job of a BA. So you're almost kind of reverse engineering. You're looking at the requirements and going, okay, is this what the business asked for? Is this what was built? How do we get ready so that the business can actually accommodate what was built? So you're looking at the state of the business. Are they ready to take on the system? Can they maintain it? Can they support it? Can they manage the inquiries that come out of this new? Are people trained? All of those things, part of what we do as well. And then business change deployment, making sure that when change is being deployed, you're there to support the team that are doing the change, whether it's through training of the people, whether it's through ensuring that the business is able to, there's infrastructure to maintain the solution, all of that stuff, working with the delivery managers, working with the testers, we'll also do part of that as well. So these are the 6 services, but there's an underpinning service. We call it an auxiliary service. It's called stakeholder management. We do stakeholder management regardless of whether you're doing requirements or process or business cases, we're constantly doing stakeholder management. Does anybody have any questions for me at this point? Any questions? Okay, so what skills do you need? Competencies, I say broken into 3 key areas. So firstly, as an analyst, you need professional techniques. And these are the things that you're going to learn in the class. You need to learn the tools and techniques. And as an analyst, you're an analyst because you've got a toolkit of ways to do things. So things like process modeling, business modeling, systems modeling, requirements management, all of that stuff, professional techniques. We learn that in class. I think that only equates to 20% of what will make you successful as an analyst. Another element that's going to make you successful as an analyst is your domain knowledge, right? This is your business knowledge. This is understanding, business finance, understanding sectors, understanding how business works, understanding commercial arrangements, understanding supplier management, understanding how to deal with suppliers, understanding a particular industry and how that industry works, domain knowledge, right? These are all part of business knowledge. I think another 20% can be derived from here, but I think you have this from experience, from life experience. You can learn some of it, but you kind of get this from life experience, life experience as a professional, whether you were a bank manager, you were operations manager, whether you're a call center manager, whether you were a, whatever it is, whether you were a health support worker, whether you were a nurse, whether you were a pharmacist, whatever domain knowledge you've got, it's all absolutely relevant. And I think it equates to another. But I think the biggest thing that will make you successful as a business analyst are your personal qualities. I think this is actually more important than anything you would learn in the classroom. This is how you communicate. This is how you learn. This is how you bring people together. This is how you ensure that your people understand what you're trying to say. For written and verbal communication, whether people respect you or don't respect you, because you hold a very, very critical role within any organization and any business change. If there's a breakdown in communication, it's because of you, because you are the one communicating across all the various teams. So if the documentation is not right, it comes down to you. If there's no clarity in what needs to be done or what was done, it comes down to you. But there's a lot that is not what you would learn in the classroom. It's more about your personal qualities. And this you can develop. There's a bit of it that's personality, that's the traits, but there's a bit that you can develop independently over time, right? But it takes a little while. If you're not naturally a mediator, you're not naturally a communicator, you're gonna have to learn those soft skills. So those soft skills are absolutely critical as well. Touch on an element of this, but we're focused mainly on the professional techniques in the classroom, and you've got to have something that will make you successful, and then you've got to take ownership of your personal developments as well. How does that sound to you guys? Does that make sense? So the question is, so yeah, sounds good, Tolu. So how much do those guys earn? Well, it depends. There's a wide range. So averages, I think averages aren't great for a lot of people. I think averages aren't great. Averages are a nice, just going to give you an idea of where you potentially get to, but averages aren't really, accurate if you're starting out. So I think you've got to break it down to, okay, what am I realistically expected to earn? My recommendation for any business analyst is try to get in to a permanent BA role, get some experience, a year or two, and then you can move up to becoming a senior BA, a lead BA, and then you can say, well, I can go on my own now. I can be a contractor. I can be a consultant. So contractors, consultants, as BAs at the moment, typically would earn £450. These are day rates per day, by the way. It's a per day. That's in the UK. Typically earn £450. Contractors would do. Some people earn 500. Some people earn 600. Usually around that. Anything more than that is more specialist, more niche. So I would really consider those at all. And 350 you might find, but again, might be a public sector, might be a sort of narrow expectation, a narrow role. And there's also something called IR35. So this might be heavily taxed if you're on IR35. But I think as a junior BA, you can expect to start in about 35,000. As a mid-level BA, 45. As an experienced BA, 55 to 65. As a business architect, as a lead BA business architect, you can earn up to 100 or thereabouts. You're specialist and can be more. So that's kind of the trajectory in terms of the day rates and the expectations in terms of salary. Career path, for me, the natural path for a BA is to be a lead business analyst. So you're the one that will design the way the analysis will work, which also can sort of lead into business architecture. I'm a huge fan of business architecture. Lots of banks are adopting business architecture. Lots of telecoms companies are adopting business architecture. Lots of housing associations are also adopting business architecture. So think of the business architect as the leader of the BAs, right? So as a business architect, you're the one that would define all the bits, all the analysis bits that needs to happen. You will define the current state, and you might also define the target operating model. You might also ensure that the transition from an analysis perspective is effective. So business architecture is where I would want most BAs to head. Product ownership is another part for you. Enterprise architecture, if you want to be more technology focused, as well as business focused, enterprise architecture, they're the guys that earn the top dollar. So enterprise architecture is a North Star for us. If you want to be both techie and non-techie, good place to be. Product owner, another good one to be. Product owner, the real difference, as an analyst, you can be a proxy product owner. You can work as a product owner if you know the product enough. But as a product owner, you are the one in charge of ensuring whatever that gets delivered is what the business wants. So essentially, you're equipped for that. So the question is business analysis right for you? I want you to type into the chat for me as we end the learning side of things this morning. Is business analysis right for you? Answer yourself this question. Have you been part of a project? Can you see when projects go wrong? Can you identify communication issues at work? Have you seen projects fail simply because people don't know what they're doing? Have you got some knowledge, skills, and experience that you can leverage? Domain knowledge, personality, tools, skills, and are you committed and ready to learn the tools and techniques that can make you an effective business analyst? So ultimately, is this the right thing for you? Good. So it says I've worked on some projects. Yeah. So I want you to type into the chat. Is business analysis right for you? Yes or no? Type into the chat for me. I want to get a sense of who's in the room and whether you're in the right place. Have you got any value from this? Yes or no? Do you have any questions? Yes or no? Thanks, Kathy. Yeah. All right, good. Good, very informative. Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. Okay. So that's the end of the business analysis or mastering business analysis part of the webinar. Hopefully you found it useful. Now the next part is going to be a little bit narcissistic. It's about us as a business. It's about what we do, about our training courses, our training programs. So if you want to stay for that part, then please do so. If you only came for the learning part of things, then thank you very much. It's been a pleasure meeting you. Hopefully we'll see you again. Funbi says, how easy is it for someone coming in from another country to integrate into a BA role in the UK? Well, I don't think there's much of a difference from a skills perspective. So what I'm going to ask you is, do you have any domain experience? Have you worked in banking? Have you worked in healthcare? Have you worked in telecoms, right? Have you got domain experience? Yeah. Have you worked in a business? Yeah. If you have you worked in change? Have you worked on projects? Good. You've got transferable skills already. Now, the part that might be challenging for you is the people side of things. You have the ability to communicate. You understand the banter. You understand the culture. You understand the way they work here in the UK. Do you understand the rules and regulations? That's the part that you will need to adopt. I think you can learn that and adopt that quickly. So is it easy for somebody coming from another country to integrate into a BA role? I wouldn't say easy, but it's very possible. And we've got lots of people who've done that. In the last batch we had Ayola, who worked in Nigeria for all his career. He literally just came a few months. And yeah, he just got started on a BA role right now. So did our program, came straight from Nigeria, and is got a BA role right now, permanent BA role, but it's perfect for where he's at or what he wants to do. So yeah, it's very possible. I would not use the word easy with any of my courses, but it's very possible. Any other questions? Any other questions? Can one work remotely as a BA? Most BAs would work remotely right now. Most BAs will work maybe 3 days in the office, 3 days at home, 2 days in the office if they're strict. Some will be, you come into the office when you have a workshop, you come into the office. If you have a social gathering, you come into the office if you want to. But most BAs today work remotely. Kathy says, I only work remotely. Yeah, most BAs work remotely. So yeah, for what we do. Now, the problem is you've got to be resident in the UK for most UK companies. The reason I say that is because a lot of organizations have created a firewall security so that when you travel, you're not able to use a computer, you're not able to access the networks. So you've got to ask for extra permission if you're out of the country. But within the country, you can work remotely most of the time. Can one in Europe get a BA role in the UK? Yes. And I know lots of people who work in the UK because they are eligible to work. Oh, I don't know about Sweden. If you're eligible to work in the UK, then yes. But it's the same as if you were here. It's the same as me coming to Sweden. Will I be able to work in Sweden? I don't know, but I've tried it and I've not had a problem because I was contracting anyway, so it was fine. I just used my limited company as the one collecting the money, and that was fine. So I've done contracts in Europe. So if you want to do contracting, I think it's fine. The BYOD setup, then you can work from anywhere. What's a BYOD? I don't know what a BYOD is. Committed to ready to learn, much experience, my disadvantage. Yes, you are at a disadvantage, but if you're committed and ready to learn, you can bridge that disadvantage. Everybody has disadvantages. Everybody has disadvantages. If you bring your own device and there's not a huge firewall. So for example, the last contract that I did, I have my own device, but I have to log in through Citrix. So once I log in through Citrix, their own system, their own firewall, when I went to Amsterdam, it didn't work. So I was like, okay, great, I have to be in the UK for it to work. So if they don't have, but the contract before that, I was in Nigeria and I was working, nobody knew I was in Nigeria. By the way, cut that off the edits of the recording, please. So yes, some organizations will let you work from wherever, some won't. But I'll say if you're resident and able to work in the UK, you can most of the time go anywhere and work anywhere if you're working remotely anyway, because if you have enough trust with the organization, it usually will be fine. All right. Any other questions? Okay, I'm going to give you guys 3 minutes to grab a tea, grab a coffee, right? For those of you that want to hear about our courses, please, we'll be right back. We'll be right back. 3 minutes and I'll be right back just to grab a coffee, okay? Thank you guys, see you shortly. Okay, I'm taking more questions. If you have any questions, please let me know. Just type your questions in the chat. That will be good. Questions for what we've learned so far, type it in the chat. If it's about the course, we'll cover it in a minute. If it's not, you ask. All right. There are no questions, and everybody is still here. I'm guessing you would like to hear about our courses, how we work, what we do, how we help people transition into business analysis. Okay. So, our flagship program, Agile BA Fast Track. Some of you here have been, I've heard of this before. So it's still the same program. We've run this program for quite a while, but we've had a new format. We have a new format from this year. So we started this new format in February, and this current batch are coming to an end now. And there's been some really amazing feedback, some really amazing results already. So the Agile BA Fast Track program is a fully immersive 3-month program delivered fully online. The classes are delivered by Zoom like this. We use collaboration tools like Mural, and we use a learning management system to manage the course administration and assignments and videos and all of that, learning materials, all of that. We use our own learning management system. Stella says, what does it entail to become a BA? Well, lots of learning and a branding of sorts. So not only do you have to learn and have the knowledge and the skills, you also have the attitude, the commitment, the confidence, and the ability to call yourself a business analyst, and then of course start applying and become a BA. So it's that simple. The process might take a little while, depending on where you're coming from. Depends on what skills you've got, what transferable skills you've got. The way we work is we look at your own transferable skills, and then we try to ensure that we guide you in the right direction so that you can leverage what you've got, rather than just kind of having a blanket approach to becoming a BA. So there is no, in my opinion, blanket approach to becoming a BA. It's what skills you have that you can bring to the table, and then you can transition. So the class is 3 months, delivered fully online. Our students are from anywhere in the world. in this current batch, we got people from Atlanta, we got people from Europe, we got people from Africa, we got people from pretty much anywhere. The only place we've not had a student come from on this program is Australasia, is Australia and New Zealand. Everywhere else, we've got people from. So you can learn from anywhere in the world. We also have designed the classes so that if you're working, you don't have to take time off work or take much time off work, because we've got the classes in a 3-month kind of module. So the first month, we have a 3-day class, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Second month, we've got a 2-day class, Saturday and Sunday. Third month, we've got a 2-day class and a number of evening classes. Now, evening classes run right through the 3-month program, but they're for various things, not just lectures. But we're breaking it into 3 months, and at the end of each month, you're getting something tangible out of it. At the end of the first month, you've got your foundation certificate in business analysis. At the end of the second month, you've got your Scrum Master. At the end of your third month, you've got your CV, and you're ready to start applying for BA roles. So that it's a 3-month program, fully immersive, and it's in a group setting, and you've got pretty much everything you need to be able to transition. So first month, month 1, foundation certificate in business analysis. I think if you're not certified, I think it's absolutely critical for you to do so. Not because of the certificate itself, but because of the curriculum, because of the fact that as a business analyst, you need to understand what it means to be a business analyst and what's within your scope and your remit, so that you have a plan of your upskilling, right? You're not going to be an expert BA on day 1 by just doing the foundation certificate in business analysis. You will get some skills, but you will know exactly where you're at and what you need to do to develop. So I recommend everyone trying to be a business analyst to do the foundation certificate in business analysis. You can take all of our courses as a standalone, but I recommend that you do the program, the Agile BA Fast Track program, and that will kind of set you up for success and for a smooth transition. So month 1, foundation certificates in business analysis. This class runs Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. The next batch, I'll go through our schedule, but the next batch starts 2nd of June. So this class will run on the 2nd of June. And then from that point on, it's 3 months. So 2nd of June, then July, August. And by the time you're done, by the end of August into early September, you should be confident as a business analyst applying for BA roles. Okay. So month 1, foundation certificates in business analysis. You'll have lots of learning videos. You'll have a 3-day class. By the end of the 3-day class, then you'll start to self-study for the exam. So you have lots of videos, sample questions, you have extra tutorials during the week, and then you book your exam for the end of that month, and we get you invigilated, we get you to pass the exam. Everybody that did the exam from the last batch passed. So I expect that if you do come to class, you do go through the videos, you do prepare, you will as well. So that's month 1. Month 2, Agile. Almost every technology-led project is delivered in an Agile way. So month 2, we're going to go through Scrum Master. Scrum is the most popular Agile method. I believe to know Agile is to know Scrum, and to know Scrum is to know Agile. Scrum is a gateway to understanding the Agile way of working. So we learn Agile. And you also get a Scrum Study certification. So there are a number of different accreditation bodies for Agile. We've chosen to align ourselves with Scrum Study, who wrote the Scrum Body of Knowledge. It's a really good comprehensive guide for people who are starting out. There are other accreditations, and then explore those afterwards. But to start, I reckon this is a really good place to start for most people. So we do Agile Scrum in month 2. So again, it's a 2-day class, Saturday and Sunday, 30 a.m. to 5 p.m. We recommend Scrum Study. You do the class at the beginning of the month, and then by the end of the month, you schedule the exam and you pass the exam again. Lots of videos and learning material to go through to pass that exam as well. So you can already see there's a lot of immersion and there's a lot of work to do. So the first month, you got a class, you self-study, you got evening classes, you got extra classes, you've got an exam, you get an exam at the end of month 1. Month 2, same thing. You've got a 2-day class, you've got a few classes during the month, and then you schedule and you pass the exam at the end of the month. Now, in month 2, this is a bonus. And it's for only those of you guys here that are registering now. We have a number of projects that we run. There's a CRM Dynamics project that we've started. There's a marketing referral portal that we're building. There's a learner management system we're building that's got like 3,000 users on it and growing. We've got a sort of a learning assessment and exam management portal that we're building. So we have a number of projects, technology-led projects that we're building. We have a software development team. And for selected people, you can get onto some of those projects, and that can get you all the things that you've been learning in class, you can get your hands dirty, you can work on those projects, and get the experience that you want. But you do have to sign a non-disclosure agreement because you're getting exposed to real customers, real products that real human beings or real customers are using. And there's some proprietary stuff in there as well. So for some people who are keen to get their hands dirty, it's optional, not mandatory, it's not part of the program, it's free, it's not additional, you're paying for the course, but this is an added bit. And I think a lot of people find that really, really valuable. So in month 2, you get started on a project. So I will assign you a project. We've got multiple projects running. I'll assign you a project. Some people are doing 2 projects at the moment because they've got capacity. Some people only have capacity for 1. So in month 2, you get on a project as well as you studying and trying to pass your exams. In month 3, we immerse ourselves in software tools. So you get a trainer that's going to come in and teach you how to prototype with Figma. You get to learn how to process model with Visio and Lucidchart and Visagi. You get to learn how to use Jira for requirements management or Azure DevOps for requirements management. So you learn those extra tools. I also sort of give you e-learning courses depending on what I think you need. For some people, I'll say go learn SQL. For some people, I'll say go learn Excel. For some people, I'll say go learn Microsoft Dynamics. Some people, I'll say go learn Power Apps. For some people, I'll say go learn this or that, right? Depending on where you're at, I'll assign you extra learning to do, which is why I said it's an immersive 3-month program. So you'll have some classes Saturday, Sunday as well for critical BA tools. But again, you're already on the project, and there'll be some extra classes during the week as well. So in month 3 as well, you will have coaching. You have coaching, sorry, but it's not month 3. You can start your coaching from any point. You can have a coaching session in month 1, month 2, month 3. You start working on your CV as soon as you feel comfortable. But in month 3, we'll work on your CV, work on your LinkedIn profile, work on your interview skills, and get you started on job searching. So, like I said, the project is a bonus for selected individuals. And the reason it's for selected individuals is because not everybody needs it. Some of you are already business analysts, so you don't need to get on a project. Some of you want it, some of you need it. Some of you don't have the capacity because it's hard enough. So it's not part of the program. It is a bonus for people who want to get their hands dirty. So partnered with our colleagues at LearnFlow so that we can allow a number of people to join the development team. And yeah, like I said, sign a non-disclosure agreement to commit to a 6-week project at least so that we can get you sort of ready and prepared for life as a VA. And then career coaching, once a month throughout your program, you can book a dedicated coaching session. And then we have a group coaching session where we tackle things like interview prep, CV search, job search, social media profile development, goal setting, and all of that. So by the end of the 3-month program, you should be ready to begin life as a business analyst. How does that sound to you guys? Does that make sense? Useful? Do you have any questions about it? Question? Very useful. All right. Yeah. So that's the Agile BA Fast Track program. Remember, you've got 2 certifications within it: the BCS Foundation in Business Analysis, the Scrum Master certification, and then you've got the opportunity to join a live project. You've got coaching. You've got coaching and mentoring. So you've got quite a lot within that, and you've got extra learning as well. So depending on, because I don't give everybody everything, and I don't, because it might not be right for you. So in the coaching sessions, we identify what you need to be successful, to have a successful transition. So that's why we have the coaching sessions spread out. So in your coaching sessions, one-on-one, we identify, okay, what's your domain expertise? What are you bringing to the table? What do you need to learn extra? Which direction do you need to go? Which extra resources do you need? You need a project? Do you not need a project? Do you need to apply for certain kinds of roles? You need extra skills. You need to work on your personality. You need to work on your attitude. You need to work on your commitment. You need to work on your time management. That's where we have those conversations, so that we'll form a plan for you to be successful. Okay. Now, for you business analysts, because I can see that there's some of you already in the house, for you existing business analysts that are already in the market, that are already in this space, they're already working as a business analyst, and you want to develop your career and you want to get certified at a practitioner level, we also are accredited by the BCS to deliver not just the foundation, but all of the diploma courses. So we are able to deliver BAP, business analysis practice, requirements engineering, business change, organizational behavior, and oral prep, and get you prepared for the oral exam for you to get your international diploma in business analysis. So I'm going to get Swapnil to talk about the practitioner courses, international diploma in business analysis. Briefly, so what's the course, what are the courses about? And yeah, just run through. Tell me to move the slide as you wish. So Swapnil, tell us about the practitioner level courses. Again, this recommended for people who want to get certified at a higher level. So you may have done the foundation, you may already be on the path. You might already have some experience. You want to go straight for the practitioner. You want to do the suite of courses to get the international diploma. So Swapnil, what are the courses about?
Sure. So basically, the diploma includes 4 certifications. So if you are entering into a BA domain, my personal recommendation would be to do the foundation, because that gives you an idea about each and every aspects of BA. Because BA, though it's a niche profile, we work at different levels. Some work as strategy consultants, some work as system analysts, some work only at improvement level, some work at business case, documentations, and other aspects. Correct? However, if you come more from management background, where you have an idea about strategies or something, then you may start with business analysis practice and then come towards more requirement. That's a bit not technical, but techno-functional kind of thing. However, from BCS point of view, there is no protocol as such to follow. However, you have to complete the 4 levels of certification. To be able to eligible to give your oral exam prep. Okay. Now, what is oral exam? All the 4 certifications you do are 1-hour exam, 40 marks each, out of which 26 is passing. Okay. Once you another advantage over here is every certification is lifetime, unlike other bodies, because BCS believes It doesn't make sense to renew a certificate rather than you upskill with different certifications and knowledge. So that's how the idea is. Now, oral exam is about the applicability. So course you do is for knowledge. Exam, of course, you clear. However, in oral exam, it's a real-time interaction, more like an interview, how you would react as a BA at that situation. That really helps to understand how you will mitigate the problem or how you will help the sponsors, the client to reach the mission and vision. So it's a 50 minutes exam where each examiner asks you questions for 25 minutes. Don't worry, if you're not in UK, you would be giving it online through Teams. Okay, the exams are pre-booked 1.5 months in advance. Rest exams, 2 weeks of time, we can go ahead and book it. And yeah, and diploma in business analysis is one of the highest degree globally which you can achieve as of now. Right, Tolu?
Yeah, I totally agree. And yeah, thanks so much, Swapnil. And I think for anybody who's already started on the journey, I think this is the next best thing. I always recommend that people start with the foundation. No need to rush to get into the diploma. But once you're in a BA role, you're in the first BA role, you're in the second BA role, then you want to start to get towards getting professional certified at a practitioner level. This is what's probably going to give you the confidence, the skill, the qualifications to be able to lead BA projects, to be able to lead BA work streams, to be able to lead BA teams, which you mentor BAs, and prolong your career as a business analyst. So each of the courses, as Swapnil said, are 3 days long. Each of the courses are multiple choice. Each of the courses lead towards the diploma. Each of the courses run from Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Each of the courses are 9 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. And each of the courses are absolutely critical to success as a business analyst. So the practitioner level courses are, I think, the next step for anyone who's kind of getting into business analysis. So you can straight away start on that journey. One of the things that I didn't mention is that to get the diploma or to get the oral exam, you need to have done all 4 courses, like Swapnil mentioned. But there can't be more than a year between your last course and your oral exam. So there's got to be no more than a year between your last course and your oral exam, which means you can spread your diploma courses across several months. You don't have to do them all at once. We recommend you do them 1 a month. That's our recommendation, but you don't have to. You can do them whenever. Some people do 1 a quarter. Some people do 1 a year. Some people do 1 a month. Some people do 1 a week. It's up to you how you space them out. But I recommend, working towards the diploma is the right path for any business analyst. And we have like I mentioned, we have a learning management system that we use to collaborate and share materials, and that's for all of our courses as well. Here's something that I'm really, really proud of, and something that I always say it's a blessing and a curse in a way, but I'm really proud, and I think I'm going to keep doing this. One of the things that we say is you can attend any future classes as many times as you need. You can attend any future classes as many times as you need. What does that mean? So if you pay for the Agile BA Fast Track program today, right? If you pay for the Agile BA Fast Track program today, you can take it now. You can start now, finish, not feeling too comfortable. Maybe you've not become a BA yet. Maybe life got in the way and you had to pause, whatever the case may be. You could then join our next batch. So you can start this batch, you can come next year, you can come in 3 months and join the next batch. As long as you're not failing the exam and doing the resit, you can attend any future classes as long as there's space available, right? So that's one thing that I think is really useful. You'd always have access to the class videos as long as they are available. and as long as you need. So as long as the videos, like technology happens, videos get corrupted, somebody might delete it, somebody might, there might be a strike, my system might crash. As long as it's available, as long as you need it, you'll always have access to the videos, which I think is also very useful. But again, a blessing and a curse, because some people might go, oh, I've got access to the videos and I missed this class. I recommend you don't do that. I recommend you try to join the live classes as much as possible. You can download the videos, but proprietary rules apply. So you sign a terms and conditions. You can't share if it's not made available to the public. It's for your consumption only, but you can download them so that you can watch them offline. And you can you can bank your sessions and use them whenever you feel you're ready. So you don't have to do a session a month. Your sessions don't expire at the end of that month. You can roll them over to whenever you feel comfortable. So for example, a lot of people will say, okay, I want to use my sessions when I'm applying for jobs, because that's when I really need it. Some will say, I want to use my sessions when I'm on the job, because that's when I really need it. So you can bank your sessions and use them whenever you feel you need them. So for me, I think those are really, really useful that I don't think many other organizations do, and we do. So Kathy, it'd be nice if you told us your success story. We have a few people who have attended some of our batches in the past and have gone on to become BAs successfully. Mide is, for me, one of the most impressive stories. She came on, very, very little experience. She got a job with NatWest literally a couple of months after the program, and yeah, is balling right now. But again, really, really very, very little experience, very little in terms of work experience, and was able to kind of get in, commit. Rocky started at the beginning, but she was able to get in, do everything we asked her to do. She got in. Kathy, I think Kathy, you already had a lot of sort of worked in IT support already, but were able to kind of make that transition successfully. And I think I'm really proud of that journey. Angela came in with experience of marketing and branding, but not much in terms of sort of business analysis, but was able to come in, get a couple of different offers from a legal firm and the other from a bank, and chose to go down the legal firm route. And I'm really proud of her. Tolua came in, hit the ground running, HR background, no BA experience, no technical experience, HR background, and got a job as a lead BA for Lloyds Bank. And I think, again, really proud of her because she didn't even apply for the lead role or a senior role. She applied for a normal BA role, and she was offered a senior BA role. So really proud of her. Paul, again, one of my really proud moments. Paul is now looking at being a business architect. Came in, very, very little experience, just kind of ground away, got a job in the housing sector, and was a BA, a senior BA, now leading BA teams, and all from doing our Agile BA Fast Track program. So we've had, and this is not an exhaustive list. Like I said, Ayola just recently got a new job. A few people have sort of gotten roles from taking the course, taking the program, doing the things that we say they should do, and applying successfully and getting it. So you might ask, how much is this? How much is this? Well, the Agile BA Fast Track program is $1,950. It includes everything. It includes the BCS exams. It includes the Scrum Study exams. It includes the e-learning. It includes the coaching. It includes everything. It includes the program, the projects. It includes everything. If you're paying up front, we'll give you a discount. If not, we have a payment plan, and I'll talk to you about the finance option in a second. So the Agile BA Fast Track program, my recommendation for people starting out, so $1,950. The BCS International Diploma fees, like I said, you can take each course as a standalone. You take each course as a standalone. The course fees include the 3-day exam, the 3-day course, and the exams. No resits included. Requirements engineering as standalone is $690. BAP as a standalone is $690. Modeling business processes as standalone $690. FCBA standalone $690. Oral prep workshop $350. If you added that up altogether, it's $3,110. But if you're taking the diploma, $2,250, you get a nice little discount there. And if you're paying up front, a further discount. Resits costs $250 per exam, but I do not expect that you would fail. So I wouldn't think too much about the resit. I'll focus on what each course will give. And if you're going down the diploma route, it might be better value if you commit to the package. But again, you can take each course as a standalone, or you can do the package. Now, the payment plan. We have partnered with a company called Noma. They're a student finance company that provide a facility to allow you spread that payment over 12 months. You can choose to pay deposits, or you can choose to pay no deposit. If you choose to pay deposit, you pay 10%, it makes the finance amounts lower. You can pay 20%, you can pay any sort of deposit amount you wish, and then you can spread the rest over 12 months. Or you could choose to pay no deposit at all, spread the payments over 12 months. The loan is an interest-free loan. The requirements are not very stringent. What they ask is that you've been resident in the UK for at least 3 months, and you've got some kind of regular income. You can take any of the courses. You can put any of the courses on the payment plan with Noma. You can put any of the courses. If you want to do a standalone, requirements engineering, you can put that on. If you want to do the diploma as a whole, you can put it on. If you want to put the Agile BA Fast Track program on, you can do that as well. I think for me, this has always been the biggest barrier to a lot of people taking the program. Most people will say, yeah, I really want to take the course, but it's too expensive, I can't afford it. I really want to take the course, but I'm not so sure I can sort of put a third down now. I'm not so sure I can actually sort of pay that amount right now. I'm going to save up. I'm going to sort of do some more work and then come back, and then life gets in the way. So I think it's a really good opportunity, and Noma are a really good company. They're really good with student finance. That's what they do. They don't do loans for travel or other things. It's purely student finance. They know the industry more than anyone else I know, and I think it's a great opportunity to take on this option. So schedule. We have a schedule published. You can take a picture of this. You can write it down. I'll send this to you guys at the end of this as well. The next class that we've got is the business analysis practice. Somebody made a typo. Is on the 17th to 19th of May. Like I said, we have a class every month. Sometimes we have multiple classes every month. The Agile BA Fast Track program is starting 2nd to the 4th of June, starting with the FCBA, the Foundation Certificate in Business Analysis. In June, as well, we have modeling business processes for the guys doing the practitioner level stuff. We've got in July, Scrum Master Certified. In July as well, we've got requirements engineering. In August, we've got critical BA tools. In September, we've got Foundation Certificates in Business Analysis. In October, we've got Scrum Master Certified. November, we've got BA tools. And we will also, there's something missing from the schedule that we literally just got a date for. I can't remember what the date is specifically, but in in August as well, we've got BAP. So we have a course, at least 1 or 2 courses every month. So you can dip in of a course. You can take a course as a standalone, or you can take it as a package, and there's always going to be a class available for you. My recommendation is take the packages rather than the standalone courses, but if you choose to take the standalone courses, that's all good as well. And yeah, that's it from me. So here's what I'd like you guys to do. In the chat, there is a link. Click on the link and tell me which course you are interested in. Tell me which course you are interested in. Put in your name, your telephone number, the course that you're interested in, and submit. And somebody will get back to you to discuss how you want to get on board. You want to take the payment plan, you want to pay up front. How do you want to do it? You want to take the next batch or the one after that. So click on the link, enter your full name, your email address, your telephone number, and which course do you want to take? You want to take the Agile BA Fast Track program? You want to take the International Diploma in Business Analysis? You want to take the Foundation as a standalone? You want to take Modern Business Processes as a standalone? You want to take Requirements Engineering as a standalone? You want to take Scrum Master as a standalone? I expect to see most people say, I want to take the Agile BA Fast Track program, or I want to take the International Diploma in Business Analysis. So click on the link and tell me which course you are interested in. Do you have any questions for me? Do you have any questions? Any questions, anyone? I know you've got lots of questions. It's a safe space, a comfortable space. You hit me with it. Tell me. What questions have you got for me? Anybody here with me? Am I talking to myself? What happens when you're not sure what you really want to go for? What happens when you're not sure what you really want to go for? All right. If you're not sure what you really want to go for, here's what I'd like you to do. I actually wanted to plan this earlier. What I would like you to do is schedule a one-on-one session with me. You're not sure what you want to go for. And I'm just going to give you my calendar link right now. I'm a bit confused about going for BA or data analysis. Stella, let me ask you two questions. One, are you amazing at maths? Are you really good at mathematics and statistics? Yes or no? Two, are you freaking fantastic with Excel? Yes or no? And do you like numbers? Like, are you a numbers person? You love calculations, you like numbers, but are you good at Excel? You like really good at Excel? Excel intermediate. Okay. So I would recommend, right, that you do, and because of your business background, you said you've got 16 years experience in investment banking. Because of a business background, I would recommend you do business analysis with a specialism in data. Okay. I think you should do business analysis with a specialism in data, right? So you can be a business analyst that does a lot of data work. Because in business analysis, you can do lots of different things. You can be a digital business analyst, you can be an enterprise product, you can be a technical, you can do lots of different kinds of business analyst. You're still a BA. But as a BA, focus on data, right? On the project that I work on right now, I've got a couple of BAs that are data BAs. Right? That's what they do. They love SQL, they love Excel, they love spreadsheet, love reporting. They do that. I've got a couple of people who were reports analysts, MI specialists, management information specialists. They had a lot of background in reporting. They came into BA on the space there, right? So you can do that. But if you tell me I'm really good with Excel, I'm a whiz kid, I've done a lot of data work in the past, I want to become a data scientist, then I'll say, yeah, go data analysis. But if you're not saying you want to be a data analyst, you're not particularly great at Excel, you do like numbers, but you've got a lot of domain experience that you can leverage in business. So I will say do BA, specialize in data. And if you then want to become a data scientist, machine learning, AI, then you can go down the data analysis. My recommendation. Because if you look at it, a DA would earn less, you know, if they're on the same kind of level of experience, would earn less than a BA. So it's like, well, if you could do BA, why do BA? Is I would say you've got more experience than it's a BA, except you're saying, I want to become a data scientist. And I say, okay, great, begin on that journey. That's my recommendation, I'll say. Okay. I'm going to put my calendar in the chat. So take a session, book a session with me if you're not sure what it is you want to do. You're not sure what it is you want to do, you're a bit confused, you want to explore more about your specific situation, book a session with me. My calendar is up to date. I'm maxed out on Monday. Today and tomorrow, right after this, we've got a class today, we've got a class tomorrow, so I'm maxed out. So my calendar is up to date. Pick a slot and we can have a further conversation. Okay. All right. Tatiana says, thank you, very inspiring, matches a lot with what I think is important. Absolutely agree. Thank you very much. And anybody having any issues with choosing the preferred program? Anybody have any issues with the link that I sent? You've been able to access it? Okay, good, good. Any other questions for me? So thank you so much. Patty says, thank you so much for your presentation. Legal background, masters in, what's IR? International relations. Would you advise me to do, since I would like to transition? So okay, international relations. So you have a pure business background. What's your work experience? Are you a lawyer? Are you a lawyer? When you say you have a legal background, are you a lawyer or paralegal? Either way, actually right now we have a lawyer too in our batch. In the previous batches, we've got, you know, people who have legal backgrounds. And there's lots of legal firms that are implementing solutions, and a lot of them are hiring BAs. A lot of them hire BAs. So with your legal background, you're a shoo-in for that industry. So because you have a legal background, because you've got a master's, you're intelligent, of course, you've got some domain experience. If you take on to business analysis quite effectively, you can sort of brand yourself as a BA for that particular industry. So I think it will be a natural progression for you if you are, yeah. Oh, Angela is here. Hi, Angela. How are you? Angela works as a BA in a law firm. So you're a lawyer, you'll have an advantage. Okay. Any other questions? Any other questions? And for you guys that are already BAs, I'm trying to get a sense of, are you guys at the points now where you are looking to get the practitioner level certifications? If you are, of course, you know where to go for it. And I think if you go to any other training provider, you will find that we're probably cheaper, and with the finance options, some might give you, some might not. I think we'll be competitive with that as well. So if you're looking at doing the diploma, I think you should begin. Now, if you're already done a foundation course, now this is for you guys that are looking to do the diploma. You've already done foundation course. you can either take a discount off of your diploma, i.e. remove the 690 foundation, or you can replace it with another foundation course. You can do business change, or you can do the organizational behavior. It's totally up to you what you choose to do there. So, but still tell me which one you're interested in, and you can reduce the diploma certification by 690, or you can replace the foundation course with another foundation course. Okay, so for you, the diploma would actually be cheaper than the IDRBA Fast Track program if you've already done the foundation with us. Okay. Any other questions? Any other questions? Yeah. Oh, and Swapna just reminded me, with a banking background, lots of organizations, even banks, will need regulatory EAs, compliant EAs. So your regulatory background, your legal background will come very, very useful. All right. Thank you very much. If there are no other questions, thank you very much. It's been a pleasure hanging out with you, and I hope to see you in class soon. Do please schedule a one-to-one with me if you need to have a further conversation. You please let me know which course you're interested in, and we'll get back to you and we'll get you on the next program. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Have fun. Good night, guys. Good day.